All right. So this month we're focusing on products. So I wanted just to talk to you literally like 3 to 4 minutes about an ingredient in the Slim. And the reason I like to do this is because for me, I always need an opportunity to have my belief built. I always want something else that I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that. Because if you see the same movie 100 times, eventually you stop noticing these little parts of it. You need someone else to point it out. That's kind of the idea behind this. So, one of the things that I remember when I first started drinking the Slim is I wrote out all the ingredients and I did research on each one so I could make a document and I would email it to all the new people. Isn't that funny how email doesn't seem quite as hip? Like nobody really does that anymore. Um, and one of the things that I realized when I was looking at the ingredients is I have a son that has autism. He's my oldest. And he was 5 weeks premature. And I was 23 years old and I did whatever the doctors told me. I didn't think to ask questions. And so they said he needs 2 shots to help develop his lungs. And I never really read about it. And so I just said, sure, okay. And then every shot they told me he needed thereafter, I did that. And it doesn't matter what your beliefs or thoughts are about that because I'm not telling you, oh, I know for sure. But there is a part of me that wonders, did that affect him in a negative way? Like you're always looking for the reason or something to blame. How about that? So I'm telling you that because there's an ingredient in the Slim that actually piqued my interest and I'm going to tell you about it. It's alpha lipoic acid. If you don't want to say the whole thing, you can just say ALA. And this particular alpha lipoic acid, it's actually in your body naturally. Your body makes it. It just doesn't make very much. You can get it from food, it's in red meat, and you also can supplement it, which is what you really should do because that gives you the most. And if you're just jumping on, we're talking about alpha lipoic acid in the Slim. Well, what does it do and why is it so neat? Well, the first thing is this. Anytime a toxin gets in your body, it's called a free radical. Think of like use those words and think of them as a human. Like what would a free radical be like? Just going around doing whatever they want to do, taking over. That's what it's doing in your body. Alpha lipoic acid is like the mean school teacher. It goes over to that free radical and it's like, calm it down, sit down. This ain't happening. That's exactly what it does to the free radicals in our body. So that's one amazing part of it. It also helps regulate A1C. It actually helps your blood glucose, which I think is actually really important because we always think it's just the chromium and the Slim that's doing it, but it's also that alpha lipoic acid. I'm not done. You know your nerves, and this is how I teach it in my biology class. I said, have you ever gotten on the slide and it literally makes that horrible sound? It's like trying to make your way down the slide because your skin gets stuck to it and you look like you can't pick up any momentum. If you have a nerve that doesn't have enough of the fatty coating on it, and that's called myelin, then messages are kind of like, that's not how you want messages sent. You want messages to go as fast as possible on a super speedway. So what if you poured a whole bottle of vegetable oil on that slide? You would take off. Alpha lipoic acid helps build that vegetable oil on the nerves. So that's another thing. People with diabetic neuropathy, people that have nerve pain, that's huge. Okay. That is huge. But here's the best part. This is where I started thinking about my son. There's a word and it's chelate. It sounds like you're putting a key in a door and then you're late for an appointment. Chelate. It's spelled Chelate. Chelate means whatever the item is finds mercury in the body, binds to it, and removes it from the body. So anyone that's had heavy mercury fillings or believes they have mercury poisoning, it really affects you neurologically. So if you use alpha lipoic acid, it chelates out the mercury. Now, I hope what you got from all that is it's removing free radicals. It's helping regulate your blood sugar. It's myelinating your nerves. It's removing mercury from the body. Does that sound like just everyday fun, or does that sound like some hard work? Sounds like hard work, which means that it is very likely someone's going to have detox symptoms. Like this is not something that a person that drinks Mountain Dew every day is just going to happen upon. They're not going to have enough alpha lipoic acid to be noticeable. So of course, when they drink this, they're going to be like, I have a headache or something isn't right, because it is actually battling really intense issues in the body. So I'm just telling you that because If someone is coming into this and you know they're coming to you with a really unhealthy lifestyle, and we're all guilty of it, then you're going to want to say some really key things to them. Like if they say, I drink soda every day, you might want to say, why don't we start with a half of a slim for the first 3 days? Let's just start with half, and then I'll help check in with you, make sure you're drinking enough water. These are all things that they're going to experience the detox. You can't avoid it, but it could be a little more gentle so they don't have PTSD after drinking the slim. So I've been using the slim with my son because of that heavy metal chelator, because what if, like just in case, right? Okay, so here's what we're going to do right now. You obviously know someone on this call, right? Everybody knows one person, I think. This is not dishonest. This is not dishonest. This is real, but it's still kind of a trick. Have you ever seen when someone posts a text they get back from a customer and the customer's like, I slept so good last night. I feel really great today. I haven't wanted to have a Rice Krispie treat. And they post like, look at these amazing results that are happening. Well, we're going to text each other. How did you love your slim today? And you're going to respond with whatever you loved about your slim today. And then we're going to screenshot your text and edit out the names, and you're going to post that as a post. So just pick somebody in this group to ask how they love their slim today. And then when you post it, you're going to say, I always love hearing what this can do for people. And then just post it. You don't have to like go into deep detail. I thought this was a genius idea. So I have to go grab my phone. Hold on. If you're the person being messaged, you can always say something like, I slept so good last night and I feel like I have control over my food cravings, or I feel like I'm craving water more than ever, or I woke up not feeling refreshed, not feeling tired. Just some quick little, it doesn't have to be like, and then, just one little blurb. Okay, advice. You think it would be too, like, I was just thinking, what if we all commented on each other's post and put our screenshots in the comments? But I don't know if that looks too coerced. Be fun. That's just an idea. You guys think about that. Okay. Who is in Kristen Boss's Recruit Reboot or Reboot Recruit? Okay. I see a couple of you. Here's what I want to do, and I'll need a couple people just to share, and then we'll move on to the next thing we're going to do. She talked about how you're thinking affects your thoughts, obviously, which affect the action that you take. And so 90% of what we think about, we don't even know we're thinking it. It's just kind of like we're programmed that way based upon our life stories and our experiences. And so she said, when you have a certain feeling about recruitment, and that word to me just means getting someone to believe that they would be good at sharing plexus with other people. When that comes up, what are those feelings associated with that? Even I sometimes, and I see it happen in seasons of my business where I get insecure because I feel like here's what I hear the person saying in their head. I knew she was going to ask me to do that. Like she told me I didn't have to sell, but I knew she was going to ask me to do that. And I hear them saying that in their head. And then I have to say, so what? So what if they say that? Am I a person that actually cares about people? Yes. Am I a person that wants the best for someone? Yes. Like I check my motives and then I can move forward. So I guess what I'm asking is, would anyone be willing to share what comes up for them when they think about recruiting? And in Plexus, it's different because we sign up pretty much everyone in that same method. Whereas in other businesses, if you're going to sign up to sell it and you get this big pack, you're not just a customer. Do you see how it's a little bit different? So, what is it that you feel when you bring up this whole idea of making an income or even getting to silver? I want to hear somebody's thoughts.
Hi. So whenever I tell someone about, I'll turn my video on really fast. I'm at work, but whenever I bring up the business aspect or going silver with someone, I just keep it very basic and I tell them like, listen, I share these products because I know that's going to change someone's life. I know you already know about, you can already think about a few people who you've thought about. So why not help them do the same thing? It's 3 people. You don't have to work the business, but get 3 people to do it with you and the accountability will help. And that's it. I'm like, I'll help all 4 of you at the same time and you guys will have a little group to do it with. And so I don't make it so much more about the business, but about let's just go and help someone else with you because this is why we do what we do. I'm like, it's not like you're going to buy these products from me. You're never going to hear from me again. I'm like, you're going to get to know me on a very intimate and personal level. I will talk to you a lot about poop. So you're going to get to know me really well. I'm like, so why not just have someone else to run alongside with you? Because if you don't, the likelihood of you falling off your products is going to be pretty low. And that's just how I leave it.
And I didn't hear a hint of anxiety, hesitation, like trepidation. So I'm assuming your mindset about recruitment is solid. And I feel like that affected the way that you went into action with it. Did anybody else feel like she was nervous or ashamed or embarrassed? Or I didn't hear that at all. That was really
at first I would break out into a cold sweat, even talking about it. And now I'm just like, why not?
What changed your mindset?
I stopped looking at it so much as if like it was, yes, it's helping me with my business, but I'm in this business to help people. And so why would it's Jessica Heffley, there is an affirmation that she writes, and it's like, how will people know about Plexus if I don't tell them? So how will people know that there is hope out there unless I tell them about it? It's a selfish thing for me to keep to myself. And so that's kind of, I feel like that's what kind of changes that before when I was so nervous, it's because I was thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to think I want their money. Yes, and my husband who used to be in sales told me, you are in sales. And because I kept denying it for the longest time, I'm like, I'm not in sales. He's like, you are in sales. He's like, you have to realize that people have a need and you have the solution and you're providing it for them. Yes, it's going to cost something, but that's what you're doing. And people have a health need and I am giving it to them because I care. And I kind of leave it just in their hands. Like, this is what I'm offering. If you want it, great. If not, I'm not pushing you towards it. And that's what changed because I wasn't trying to convince them. I was presenting a solution to them and then I would back away.
That was really good. I wrote down what you said about how people know. What's interesting is, and we'll keep moving forward, is that if a realtor's helping you buy a house or if someone's doing your hair, You don't sit in the chair getting your hair done going, she's just doing this for my money. Nobody thinks about that. I mean, that lady doing your hair obviously enjoys doing hair. She wants you to like the haircut she gave her, but she also is going to expect payment. And that doesn't bother us. And a realtor, we think they want to help us find our family forever home and they want to be part of this experience. We don't think, well, sometimes I do think they just want my money. But the point being, it's okay to make an income. There is no shame in that. And if you have a poor money mindset when it comes to that, you are going to be attracting all the wrong people. You are not going to be moving forward. That is something you got to get a hold of. Does someone feel like they have a very poor, that's probably not the right way to say it. Does anyone struggle with their mindset when it comes to recruitment that's willing to share? All right. Megan raised her hand first, I saw.
Hi there. Yes, I do struggle with mindset and the mentality of sales. And so I know it's held me back and it's made me not post about the blessing of the income opportunity. And I'm a senior Ruby, and that has blessed our family so flippin' much, especially during, the pandemic, whatever. And I have a car that I wouldn't be driving if not for that income. And I don't post about it.
I muted myself. I understand why. And awareness, I mean, you have total self-awareness about this, but I heard 3 different posts in what you just said alone. Like, one thing is, if you add up your lifetime earnings with Plexus and you go ahead and share, I feel uncomfortable. I feel weird saying this, but I also know somebody's reading this needing that extra income. And you say, in the time I've been with Plexus, I've made whatever, $150,000. I hate doing that. It makes me uncomfortable. And so I did it anyways. And I put my lifetime earnings, and I had 3 girls that have been using the products with me already for years message and said, why have you never told me that? I was like, oh my goodness. And I thought, I just don't want them to think I'm in it for the money, but I still want my paycheck. Okay. So that's really good. Work through that money mindset. I know when I first started and Suzanne told me to get my 3 people, I did that and I was excited about it because I needed the money to cover the products. But what I didn't expect is when the silver certificate came in the mail and I get the silver certificate, I don't know what happened, but I graduated college. I got a college graduation certificate. I don't even know where that is, but I hung that silver certificate on the wall in my bedroom because we meet people in a time of life where it's so far removed from recognition. It's not high school graduation, it's not college graduation. We forget what it feels like to be recognized because we've been so busy loading the dishwasher or whatever else that we've been doing, and no one's really saying thank you. We're meeting people in a hierarchy of need. This is huge. So if you can think about it like that, like you are bringing purpose and excitement to their life. Now, anybody else want to share that before we move on? Some mindset they have about recruiting. Rita, go ahead.
I struggled with recruiting mostly because I joined for the products and I had an incredible benefit and it helped me tremendously. But I had a lot of negativity from people in the beginning, close friends, who felt that I was pushing it on them. And so I had to really reevaluate I just wanted everybody to enjoy what I was enjoying. And so I had to really think and pray about, how am I going about it? What is the method that I'm using? And more recently, I've started sharing in more organically in like at a Pokino game. I gave out samples to 10 women. 2 have joined. And one of them, I asked her permission because it was her Pokino party to talk to her friends. And that shifted something in her because she caught me this week. Now that was about maybe 3 weeks ago, but she caught me this week and said, maybe a month ago, these are the people that I've got lined up to be my 3. So please don't talk to them. And I was like, okay, you've got it. Now she's the same person who told me I'm not going to sell, I'm not going to share, I'm not going to whatever. So, I mean, she caught me at a little function and said, I want you to know these are the ones that I'm corralling. And I was like, okay, you got it. So I don't know what shifted in her, but something shifted in me and it shifted in her.
It's so
And so,
good. And you can always say, actually, I'm going to help you with them. Like if they say yes,
well,
they're going to go under you. That's huge. And I think the pushy thing, here's what I'm going to encourage all of you to do. If you're starting to feel worried, or what are people thinking, or what are my friends saying, ask them. Say, can I be really vulnerable with you? Say, I've never done this before, and I trust you and I know you love me. Could you coach me? Like ask a friend this. Could you coach me? And they're going to say, what does that mean? And you can say, I want to do this in a way that really shows who I am, and I'm trying to figure it out. Have you ever felt pressured, or do you ever feel like my posts are too much? Be prepared. They're going to hurt your feelings because they're going to say something that's really hard, but you've asked them for that. And guess what? Growth comes through that. You have to be pruned to grow, because the way that you flourish, way a plant flourishes, is it gets cut back and then it comes back stronger than ever. Be willing to be cut back. And when you do get cut back, you can come back stronger and better. So that was really good. I enjoyed that little bunny trail. So here's what I want you to do. Most of us already have this set up, but some of you do not. I want you to have it set up so that your stories post from Instagram to Facebook. Raise your hand if you do not have it set up for your stories to post from Instagram to Facebook, and don't feel bad. Okay. I don't see as many as I thought. So this is really, really important. And I'm not going to be good at explaining how to do it. If someone else is good at like technical things, I don't even follow a recipe. This is key. I now only post in my stories through Instagram, not to mention they have all the better filters and fun stuff and all the things. But I have grown just since I've done that by 400 people, just because I stopped only posting in my stories and Facebook. So if you haven't done that, I want you to go do that. If you've already got it set up, I need you to go live in your stories. I need you to make a little 1-minute video of you in some way taking a product. I don't care what it is. If you're like, I'm about to mix this up and I wanted to tell you something, I heard about it. I heard that this product right here can get rid of free radicals in the body, or something like that. Whatever you're doing, making your active, making your lean, taking your capsules, even if you don't actually take them, you can just be holding it and saying, I know people have asked me why I take this. That's a really good technique, by the way. If you say things like, people are always asking me, or I'm getting so many messages about this little something. And they're like, I used to fall for that actually. But the point being, go in your stories and do that. So set up IG to Facebook, make a story about you making or taking one of your products. Everybody, Tina is opening an Instagram today. Yay! She's looking at me like, why'd you do that? It is time. It is time. Instagram is super, super important. And I'm not asking you to make it your day job, but there are different audiences in both arenas. I saw people posting on Facebook the same post they put on Instagram. I was following them on both, but I thought, why are they doing that? They're just repeating themselves. Totally different audience. When I started posting on Instagram, people that I had been wanting to see my post on Facebook that never commented were suddenly commenting. People find their home on a social media platform. We found it in lots of places because we're in sales, but most people settle in one place, and we need to find the place to meet them. So pick a really fun name, or just use your own name. Tina, I'm so excited. Okay, she needs help. Does anyone in here have that kind of brain? I don't know how to tell people how to do things. Nobody? Okay. Oh, we got to figure out how to open an Instagram. I'm sure it's self-explanatory. Amy, can you teach?
So I personally, I have kind of like the same name across the board, and it's not plexus related. It's not specific to one area of my life, so that I can add content from every area of my life. So for me, it's just my first name, my last initial, and then NOLA, which is where I'm from, New Orleans, Louisiana. So I don't know if that helps any, just kind of to think about it in that area.
Yeah, a lot of people will pick a fun little witty name for Instagram. Like I've seen so many cute ones. Only thing about that is sometimes I can't remember somebody's Instagram name, and I'm like, what was it again? I can't remember. But I ended up changing mine to just Jen Leith because I'm making a website that's just jenleith.com. And you're like, why would you have a website? Because when I'm telling someone about Plexus and they want to order, and I'm like, go to www.plexusworldwide.com/Jennifer Leith. You think they're going to walk home and be like, what was that again? Like, they're not going to remember that. But if I say jenleith.com, it actually redirects the website to my replicated website. So if they type in jenleith.com, it then sends them to the replicated website for them to order. Does that make sense? Okay.
Hey Jennifer, so with that, would you do your posts? Like I do my stories on Instagram and also post to Instagram as stories. Would you recommend I do my posts the same so that my posts are going to both Facebook and Instagram or just my stories?
I have been doing a little bit of both, but I've noticed when I put the post on each platform, I'm getting different people commenting. So personally, I would do both. The one thing about Instagram is, and I don't want this to intimidate people because when I hear all the rules, I'm like, forget it, I'm out. It's not rules, but you want your Instagram profile because they're only able to see like the first 6 squares or whatever you call those grids, boxes. You want things to look fluid. Like, for example, if you're going to post a picture, maybe the next thing you post is a quote, and then the next thing is a picture. You're making a pattern with that. And then also your little highlight bubbles. These are all things you can learn. You're going to want to make those kind of match your personality. Like, I just picked all these different shades of green. I wish I could put it in the Power Hour chat for you guys to see. You're going to end up decorating your Instagram is the best way I can say it over time. But the best thing you can do is just get something out there. That's a long answer. Just post on both because I guarantee you're going to see different interactions on both. Okay, to answer that question, Rebecca Folks, who I consider all things Instagram perfect, she told me to open a creator account. So that's what I did. And I don't know why, and I have no other answers, but I just obeyed. Okay, I'm going to say one more thing and then we're going to finish working in silence. You know how when you're married, if all you ever talk about is your finances and the kids and all these things, it suddenly takes away all the fun and the romance. It's just, you're just like business partners and it just, there's something missing. Translate that over to your team. If everything is, did you get the 100 PV? Did you get her to silver? Have we set up this event? Have you done this? Have you done that? It zaps the fun out. Fun is a connector. Fun creates trust. So what have you done lately with the people on your team that would facilitate fun? Even if it's just a really fun coffee date and you're like, we're not even going to talk about Plexus. We're going to get on. Let's all tell something crazy that's happened to us in the last month or something like that. Or you could even just send them a funny video and laugh with them. Try to find something that will facilitate fun with the people on your team. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and ask you guys to drop your screenshot of the slim response you got in the comments on my post. If you want to have that same thing for you, put it in the Power Hour chat. So I just basically ended my post with, if you get these kind of messages too, share them below. And that way, I just feel like people will see the post and then they'll go look in the comments. Put that in the Power Hour chat. If you are not in that, ask someone to put you in it. Ask a friend or something. Otherwise, I will see you guys next Monday. We're getting closer to our virtual sip and see, so get to sending out those samples. Good to see you guys.